meeting to order, please. Begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. At this point, I'd like to have a moment of silence to recognize our longtime Norwell Rep, Bob Moeller. We're entirely grateful for his service to us. Thank you. Also, this meeting is being recorded, and because we have remote participation tonight, all our votes will be done by roll call. Agenda adjustments for tonight. There are no agenda adjustments. Public comment. Are there any comments tonight from the public? We'll move next to student recognition and spotlight. I'd like to recognize Sandy Baldwin to come to the podium.
I don't want to say this one. My spotlight.
I'm going to create a little shot. I'm here with Stella Stella, a culinary arts senior from Hanover, and she is January Student of the Month. She's here tonight with her proud mom, Amy Kemp, and stepdad, Vinny Diacetis, and she is on co-op at the Scarlet Oak Tavern in Hanover. Is it normal?
Hang
On the Hanover, normal.
It's like right in
You
there.
got it.
Her clinical shift has been actively working on the line, but she is fully trained to take on any station in the restaurant. And I know from personal experience that South Shore Tech staff members seek out her culinary expertise when they go and dine there. She wanted to work on co-op to confirm her passion for the industry, and she's there surrounded by industry professionals who share her drive and creative nature. Her job is not only taught her how to cook, but how to be an asset to the restaurant. And she can sometimes feel overwhelmed like we all do in the workplace, and she may want to hang up the apron, but she knows she will continue on because it's what she deeply cares about doing. From her executive chef, he says, Stephen Sherman, he says Stella's a great team player. She continues to perform at an advanced level, and she can see that she'll do great in culinary school. She has an open mind and is willing to try new things. We've seen tremendous growth in Stella, and we are glad to have her here at the Scarlet Oak. And from her culinary arts teacher, Mr. Doucette, we are very proud of Stella. She was recently accepted to the Culinary Institute of America, and she is laser focused on her career and her future. The hard work she has put into co-op is paying off in multiple promotions in her workplace, and her confidence in developing her talent. Great job. I would also like to showcase Stella as an outstanding student who represented us well last week when the South Shore Leadership Group, representing South Shore area business folks from the South Shore Chamber of Commerce, met with us at a lunch, and they wanted to ask questions of our students, and Stella was an outstanding representative of our school, and I thank her for that.
Thank you.
I have a little treat for you here, I'll take this with you, so I will leave this for you.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm going to turn the mic over to you to say a few things about your experience in South Shore.
Okay, well, coming here as a freshman was definitely a new experience for me, especially in the fact that I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to do. And being here has given me the opportunity to not only find the career that I love, but also spark my passion for what I do. So I am definitely very grateful for the people that are here and the people that have helped me be where I am now. So thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Picture and a hug.
Next, we're going to have the staff spotlight, please.
Tonight we're going to recognize our metal fabrication and welding program. and we're pleased to recognize their talent. This evening, Cole Holdley, our department head, who is unable to be with us because he is either just about to get on or on the sidelines with his team at the hockey game. So Cole Holdley, department head, Josh Craig, and Jim Ferris. We are celebrating their dedication to the school, which can be seen throughout the building. This past summer, members of the program spent countless hours expanding the carpentry program footprint. The members of the department also worked on various projects through our summer at the new district administration building and in our cafeteria, and we're grateful to see the reward of their hard work. Cole is a graduate of South Shore Tech, and as a student, Cole was active through school community. Cole participated in athletics and numerous student organizations, including Skills USA and the student representative to the school council. After a few years in the training, he began his career as vocational aide in the metal fabric department, and he is now back here at South Shore Tech as a metal fabrication teacher. He is now the proud department head. In addition, he serves as our hockey coach and also teaches in our evening STI program. Josh Craig comes here with 12 years of experience in the metals field. Josh is a tech graduate from Old Colony, where he excelled and competed in Skills USA. Josh has a beautiful girl and enjoys spending his free time with her sledding on the beach, or sledding and on the beach in Grant Rock during the summers. Jim Ferris started his career as a union HVAC tech, and when he retired from the HVAC, he went to work for Fromlet Equipment, where he began his second career in welding. In Jim's early years, the desire to weld was sparked by his father. In his spare time, he raised a son and daughter and was coached to them on their sports teams. It's important to note that not only does the program instruct students during the day, but as I said earlier, they are also active in the fall and spring semester, running our 200-hour CCI courses as well. There are currently 12 metal fab students and welding seniors participating in our co-op education program, which is 75% of their senior class. Their employers include CMI Marine, Northeast Compactor, and Baylor, Briggs Engineering and Testing, Dynavac, DeAngelis, Blue Atlantic Fabricators, and many more. And we thank our local employers for their continued support of our program and our teachers for starting this program as an extension of this classroom. And at this time, I'm going to ask these two fine gentlemen to spend a moment at the podium talking a little bit about their time here at South Shore.
You first.
No, nobody told you that, right?
Oh, we kind of look at each other like, who's going? So I started here last April. I came in after April Lewis departed. And from the time that I got here until this point, it's very evident what a community the staff is at South Shore Tech. I felt welcome here from day one. I feel more welcome here after being here for several months. Working over the summer gave me the opportunity to meet some of the other staff members and interact with them in a more intimate setting without as many kids around and stuff like that. I've had a great time working here. My experience at Old Colony is really what led me to want to be an instructor, and I'm proud to be part of giving that back to the students that we have here at South Shore Tech. Very grateful to Mr. Holdley for helping me out with all of these new teacher things. As coming from the welding field into a school is not exactly the easiest transition, but it's been made easier with his help and the help of everyone else around me. So I'm grateful for the opportunity to be here, the opportunity to serve the district and serve the students as well.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I man after my own.
Yeah, he sat right down. You're not gonna say anything?
No.
What he said.
Yeah, what he said.
It's a strong silence.
All right, so next we'll hear from our student rep, Lily McGann.
I am. I just try not to show it, even though I've done it a few times. For the month of January, Skills USA has been promoting an adult comedy show for March 9th at Venus 3 in Hanson. They're also doing an MRA challenge with 2 teams competing on January 25th and have a senior sale conference at Gillette on February 8th. Horticulture has nothing to report, but he warned me that the next one. I'm ready for that. Athletics, wrestling is on a pace to record more, individual wins than last year, and we'll look to have multiple wrestlers compete in the MIA state tournament. Hockey is 4-4-1 on the season. National Honor Society is selling a cookbook the next 2 weeks for $20 a copy, and it's compiled of the community's, family recipes, including a lot of mine, from my family. Student council has a few ideas for the upcoming months, including a possible student versus teacher basketball game and a movie night. We're also selling teddy bears and chocolates for Valentine's Day. I also decided to include graphics in my report now, because they've been doing quite a lot around the school. So they recently launched their school store the week before Thanksgiving, and sales from November 17th to January 12th exceeded $9,000 with over 200 items sold. Additionally, the video and photography end of the shop is working on a $5,000 project with High Point, the Brockton Area Prevention Collaborative, due early February. Ms. Rakowski is scheduled to begin visiting town halls and local nonprofits with small groups of students this month to promote services the shop has to offer. And finally, they're sending 20 students to districts for Skills USA in 5 areas of the competition. That's all I have for you for January. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's a lot, thank you.
Next, we'll move to the treasurer's report.
Thank you, John. On the cover, not knowing Lily's report, we have pictures of the wrestling team. I guess we have a female wrestling team as well, right? Yep. So we got the 2 wrestling team pictures, and we have a picture of the hockey team, so just kind of one. First page is the cash balances, both had a little over $1 million. The revenues for December, we just received one check from Cohasset, and we were a couple late stragglers, but they've all been paid as of today, so there's no problem. Other income, we had some investment income, miscellaneous income, and then Chapter 70 state aid came in for a total of $520,000. Expenditures total a little over $1 million. December, we had $749,000 for payroll, which is a good one. And health insurance is obviously a good one as well. So everything went smoothly. Pam and Janina doing a great job managing their responsibilities with the payroll and the payables, and things are running relatively smoothly. And the best thing about them is that they're very adaptable to the situation, and they help with the teachers to work out their problems. And I know, I think it was Rob Gentile had an issue that they need to buy something by a certain date, and came to the office and we walked them through the purchasing to make sure everything was all set. So, yeah, so that's the treasury report, so.
All set?
Yes.
Make a motion to accept the treasurer's report.
So,
Second?
and second.
Second by Cohasset. Any discussion? Seeing there's none, we'll take a roll call vote for treasurer's report, because tonight we are remote for a few of our folks. We'll start with Abington, and I'm a yes. Cohasset.
Yes.
Hanover. Yes. Hanson.
Yes.
Thank you. Norwell.
Yes.
Rockland.
Not here, Tom.
Not here. Okay. Situate.
Yes.
And Whitman.
Yes.
The motion carries. Other updates, Jim?
Yeah, I should have read my minutes, but, with my package before tonight, but, just wanted to alert anybody that's, with the school that, Sylvia Huffnagel / Coppola, who was our accounts payable person, after Enda left, Sylvia came on. Sylvia passed away on Christmas Day from, breast cancer. She'd been battling for like 8 years or entire time while she was here. So she passed away on Christmas Day. A lot of teachers and staff members that I saw at the wake, and it was very, very humbling to her husband, to see everybody. And also, within the past couple months, Edna also passed away, and Edna Romney is a, member of our accounts payable, staff as well, so, life just hits you upside the head sometimes, so.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
We take a moment to recognize those folks with a moment of silence, please.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you. Next, we'll recognize the Superintendent Director, Tom, for his report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. A few brief items. First item I keep under my report is MSBA update. I'll defer that to the school building committee portion of our meeting, other than to say that we have our next public forum is scheduled for at Abington Town Hall on January 25th at 7 p.m. If that date rings a bell to you, it's because we also have our next school committee / building committee meeting on the 25th of January, starting at 5 p.m., bumping it up a little bit to allow for some time to get over to Abington. We'll talk more MSBA during the building committee part of the agenda. Fiscal 25 budget update. We're at the point now where, since the budget presentation, we are waiting for the governor's numbers, which we know comes out right around this time. It, at this point, could come out any time between the State of the Commonwealth address and the 24th of January this year. So that is another reason that our next meeting is January 25th. So hopefully we'll get those numbers, and then Jim will put them into the formula to show what the minimum local contribution is and all the rest. I would point out that on the 25th, when we meet again, that's the date that we'll have our public hearing on the budget, which is a statutory requirement that we have this every year, and it gives the public an opportunity to comment on the budget. I will consult with the chair prior to the next meeting to determine whether we'll have a budget certification vote. This is a technical matter. It's important, but because we have to certify our budget 45 days before the earliest town meeting, our first town meeting is on April 1st. And so it might be in our best interest to certify, to go on record as essentially setting a ceiling. A budget certification does not mean anything more than we're not going to increase it from this point forward. It can always go lower. As I mentioned last month, if there are revenue gaps or if we have to make adjustments and if the bottom line has to decrease, if you will. So whether it's certifying it on the 25th of January, or it's asking you to get together for perhaps just a quick remote meeting in early February to certify it, I'll clarify that with enough time. But for now, that's where we are in terms of the budget. And I have on here future subcommittee work, just to let all the members of the committee know that we currently have 3 active subcommittees undertaking some work. Our policy subcommittee is beginning a comprehensive review of our entire policy manual. And starting next week, we'll be getting into a rhythm of bringing you a series of policies that we typically put in front of you for 2 successive meetings. So the policy subcommittee will review some recommendations with me. If they vote a recommendation, I'll bring it for a first reading and a second reading in that rhythm. We'll give all, for those of you that are not on the policy subcommittee, we'll be giving you a nice old school 3-ring binder with pieces of paper, so we can follow along and see what are the changes that the subcommittee is proposing. And we'll update that binder periodically as we have new policies. We've done this process before, but it's been a few years, and it's good to weed out and add to our policy manual every few years. So thank you for those folks on policy subcommittee. Also, our regional planning subcommittee. This subcommittee has met once. I'll be asking them to meet again in the near future to talk about a potential amendment to our regional agreement that would change the way that we would assess debt. This is a very timely topic with regard to our school building project, but there is interest on the part of the subcommittee to pursue an amendment that would, instead of us having a fixed debt share for the life of the debt, this is something that would be adjusted. One of the models that we're taking a closer look at is what I could casually call it a 4-year rolling average. Something that would adjust over time, but would not have an immediate market change due to a spike or a drop in enrollment. Now, this will mean a lot more to you once we get some actual text language in front of you, but the subcommittee will need at least another meeting to look at it. And we also want to engage our towns. I have had conversations with email or in person or phone conversations with all of our town administrators, raising their awareness that we're looking into it. I think it's an important piece to our homework for calendar year 2024 to put in front of the voters, possibly in the fall, which would be prior to any other school building activity. So that's the work of the Regional Planning Subcommittee. And lastly, our negotiation subcommittee is starting the process of collective bargaining with our 2 bargaining units. And I'm reaching out now to our town administrators to see if one of them would like to serve as the municipal representative. As you may recall, those of you that have seen us do collective bargaining before, regional school districts are required to seek a member of our community, our district. Either it's someone from the select board or it's through the town administrator to serve as a municipal representative. And this person is entitled to be part of the collective bargaining process, so that whenever this full school committee goes into executive session, and typically it would be for the subcommittee to provide you with an update in executive session, this municipal representative would be able to participate and have a vote on any actions that the full committee takes. So the negotiating subcommittee is also underway for that. So I thank all of you for your participation during this busy time. And with that, Mr. Chair, I'll turn it back to Sandy for some administrator updates.
It is the keeping the business running time of the school year, and we are keeping the business running. So we are making great progress towards our revamped school improvement plan, getting good feedback on a revised model. We are making progress towards our visit from the New England Association of Schools and Colleges in May. We're making good progress on our reporting there. We are making good progress in our preparations for our MCAS assessments in the spring. We are enjoying, as I said earlier, excellent student leadership in our school. Last week, as I said earlier, the South Shore Leadership Group with representation from the South Shore Chamber of Commerce really was on our campus to get to know who we are, and our students did an outstanding job representing us, and I look forward to future opportunity for corporate sponsorships and corporate relationships moving forward. We had just finished a coordinated review of special ed and civil rights last week. That visit seemed to go very well from the Department of Ed. We will be getting the information about that report in the next 4 to 5 weeks. And if there are recommendations for improvements, we will make them. And the last thing I'd like to share with you is that we have begun, in conjunction with the Parent Association, a new mentor program where we are aligning students in our junior year who are really unsung heroes in the way that they work with our newly placed freshmen. We've asked our vocational programs to identify those students who have a knack and a talent for supporting those who are new in their program, and we are going to nurture them with education and celebrate them at the end of the school year for their successes. So a mentoring program is underway.
Very
Do
good.
you have any questions?
Sure.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sandy.
Thanks, Sandy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
New business. Any new business? Go ahead, Tom.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The first item under new business is to seek your approval for a revised educational plan. That's document 2. That's the document that weighs 11 pounds.
Yeah.
And this is something you had previously approved as is part of the normal process with the MSBA, the Mass School Building Authority. They provide feedback on our educational plan. They provide feedback on the PDP report that was submitted. So they asked a series of questions that we provided clarification to. And part of the process is that we must include and we must embed those answers in this document. These edits do not substantially change anything. They simply clarify questions, which will make this process easier when our project eventually comes in front of the board of directors. So I would ask for your approval of this revised educational plan.
Motion made by
Situate. I'll second.
second by Hanover. Any discussion? Okay, we will take the roll call vote at this time. Abington, yes. Cohasset,
Yes.
Hanover,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
thank you. Norwell,
Yes.
Rockland, not here tonight. Situate,
Yes.
and Whitman.
Yes.
The motion carries.
Thank you.
Now we will move to, back to Tom.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The next item under new business refers to authorization to pursue a 5-year bus lease. I'm not going to ask the committee to take a vote on this tonight, and we'll have it on our agenda for January 25th, but I'd like to just take a moment to provide you the context for why this is on the agenda. Many of you may recall that we had an initial propane bus lease in 2017. And ultimately, what I'm looking to do as part of our fiscal 25 budget, as well as some capital funds we have this year, would be to replace the current fleet we have with a new fleet. And we have an opportunity to do this through a statewide contract with propane buses. So what I'll be bringing to you next week will be a motion that would essentially authorize a longer-term lease. The governing body has to approve any lease terms that are longer than 3 years. This was the same situation 6 years, 5-6 years ago. So the motion is essentially that we would be trading in our existing propane buses with equity so that we can then replace. So I'll come to you next week with a motion that would be to authorize me to engage on this 5-year lease. It's lease purchase, so at the end of the lease, the buses would be ours. And with it, it would include a dollar amount for the amount of the buses. It's likely that if we move on this trajectory, doing this in January of '24, we would probably be able to be in receipt of these buses in the summer in time for use for the start of the next school year. So more to be said on that, Mr. Chair, but at least providing you the background. I'll have more detailed motion and the exact dollar figure next week.
Thank you, Tom.
Yeah.
Are there any requests for actions?
I just got a question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Where Markfield is joining us, do we need another bus over and above what we're doing?
Yes, I believe next school year for fiscal '25,
Yeah.
we don't, but it might be in our financial best interest. One of the things I'm looking at is possibly purchasing 13 and trading in 12, which would increase our fleet by 1. And that should give us enough capacity for at least the next 2, possibly into the third fiscal year. So I think for fiscal 20, if we did not increase our bus fleet next year, I think we could probably get away with it. So much of it depends on the geography of the community, right? If people are at opposite ends of any one of our communities, especially on this side of the district, it adds to bus routes. But we're projecting right now that if we couldn't afford it, we could probably get away with it for a year.
Well, because I was thinking, when and if the new school is passed, and there may be limited parking for students, what kids may be taking the bus.
You are absolutely correct.
And I think it's a waste of money to start to go lease them, because you're paying for the bus and the driver. We have our own buses and the drivers work for us. I think it's more, efficient.
Yeah, so the drivers would be our employees. So this is, so we're just financing the buses over 5 years. And then the district basically, we paid for the buses over 5 years. The buses are ours to do what we want with when we're done. So, but as of now, we're still maintaining our own drivers. But I think we all know that as we expand the district and we expand the bus routes, we'll have to see what the market is for available drivers. Standing offer for anyone who wants to get their bus driver license, just let me know. It was nice working with you, but you'll be gainfully employed. Thank you. Thanks for the question, Dan. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Any further discussion regarding the bus lease? Any requests for action this evening? Seeing there are none, can we have a motion to adjourn the school committee meeting?
So move, with all due respect.
Second by Handel. We'll take a roll call to adjourn the meeting. Abington, yes. Cohasset,
Yes.
Hanover,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
Norwell,
Yes.
Rockland, not here this evening, Situate,
Yes.
and Whitman.
Yes.
The motion carries. The meeting is adjourned.